Hey guys, Silverlord here, back again with another action figure review. Today we'll be taking a look at the Popeye the Sailor Man Ultimates Bluto, one of the first bully type characters most of us were ever introduced to as youths, right? This of course is brought to us by the fine folks over at Boss Fight Studios and is the only other Popeye Ultimate I have. So for those of you who just can't freaking stand Popeye, which is kind of funny because the general consensus I've gathered is people either love Popeye or they want absolutely nothing to do with him. Evil villain. So with that being said, let's cut right to the chase and get into the meat and taters of this review and take a look-see at Bluto's accessories. Very light compared to Popeye. He doesn't have an alt head or an actual accessory he can hold in his hand, but he does come with grip hands. So I guess he can hold Popeye by his arm or something. He also comes with a pair of open hands, kind of looking like hamburger helpers. Hold on a minute. Oh no, he does have 4 fingers. I was wondering if he had just 3. Because if you notice, Fred Flintstone and a lot of the Flintstone characters, they only have like 3 freaking toes. It's very weird. And then he also has his little hats, which, unlike Popeye's, I can't manage to get to stay on him very well. Like, it doesn't latch onto there like Popeye's does. So, again, I think a magnet would have been helpful. Of course, that wants to stay on now. But at any rate, taking a closer look at good old Bluto here. He looks pretty cool. Looks like he came right out of the show. And, you know, as I mentioned earlier, one of the earliest, or first I should say, bully characters most of us were introduced to as kids. Well, he was mine. He's just a big, bulky jerk face of a character. You know, he is to Popeye what Bane is to Batman, and Venom is to Spider-Man, and I had another example that was even better, but I honestly can't remember it off the top of my head, but, you know, it's the way the cookie crumbles. But as far as articulation on him goes, his head doesn't look up nearly as much, but he really just needs, or down, he's just got a little weeble wobble there. He does have some tilt side to side, and he can rotate. He's got that shit-eating grin on his face, because that's the type of character he is. His shoulders go out pretty far, all things considered. They rotate forward and back. He does have a swivel in the elbow, as well as a hinge. He's got a swivel in the wrist. And like Popeye, no hinge, but that's okay. He does have a waist twist. Very squeaky, but I assure you it's not like gummy or anything. I'm not worried about that. He does have a little crunch forward and back, but not a ton. His hips can kick out, back down, rotate forward and back. He does have a little thigh swivel in there. He's got a swivel at the knee with a hinge. Not a ton. And again, he's got the ball peg feet. And I wish they gave them ball hinges. I know they wouldn't get much range out of those either, but I think they would have been a little bit more effective. I think some hinges in the wrists and something better in the feet would have really made these a little bit better, in my opinion. They're already pretty decent for what they are. You know, super stylized. You know, there's not a whole lot of leeway with these character designs. I'm a little nervous to check out Olive Oil if I do decide to get her, but, you know, I could see that happening in the foreseeable future, as I mentioned in the Popeye review, but popping his hat on here, tempting to. Yeah, not a fan of these hats. I wish the hats actually like snapped on or something. They just feel like they could have implemented them better, or just give me a head with the hat on it permanently, you know, because I'm gonna use the hats and I don't want them falling off on me. There we go. There's Bluto. Bring in Popeye here. And again, let me know in the comments if you love or hate Popeye. Again, seems like people either love it or hate it, but, you know, I'd rather watch Popeye than, what I say in the last video, La Casa Grandes. Some stupid Nickelodeon show. It's all a bunch of, I don't know, T-Biz's relatives. Or, what's that one on Cartoon Network I don't like a lot? Craig of the Creek? God, I can't stand that show. That show is so freaking stupid. You know, I hated, you know, Adventure Time and Uncle Grandpa and Steven Universe. I could not get into those at all. But, you know, at least they were kind of creative. Craig of the Creek is just lame, you know? It just sucks. Like, the last show I liked that was kind of whatever was Gravity Falls on Disney XD. That was a decent show. That was well written. Thought they did a good job with that one. I could not get into Star versus the Forces of Evil or Powers of whatever the heck. There was that one character in that show. And if you know the show, you know what character I'm talking about. Her voice was nails on a chalkboard. It felt like sticking pins in my ears. So yeah. Overlord does not like a lot of new stuff as far as animation and cartoons go. Motu Revolution, Revelation, whatever the heck, and even the CGI one, that's the extent of that. Like, if you want me to watch some crap on cable TV, I don't know, pay me first. But before we wrap this up and get into a rant on why old cartoons kick the crap out of new ones, here is our two regulars, the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulas, and the infamous 11 Spawn, who's used to dealing with bullies like Bluto, so I'm sure he has no problem tying him up with chains and sticking popsicle sticks up his ass. So before this thing gets ugly, or ranty, or all of the above, why don't we cut it here and wrap things up with some final thoughts. Overall, and as I mentioned in the Popeye review I posted earlier today, again, check that out if you haven't already. Would really appreciate it if you did. Compared to the Vitruvian Hacks figures Boss Fight Studios used to make, the quality on these Popeye Ultimates is night and day as far as I'm concerned. It is so much better on these than it was on those, and I know they were 3 3/4 inch figures, and Boss Fight was kind of, you know, going through ye old learning curve with those, but these Popeye Ultimates, while not as good as the Bucky O'Hare figure I used to have, still really solid. And again, I'm very tempted to dip my toes deeper into this line, maybe pick up Olive Oil and Wimpy and possibly some of the other characters, so long as they're still on sale. I know that's how I got Bluto and Popeye, because they were marked down to like 20 bucks or less on Big Bad Toy Store, so maybe if they got some of the other characters, I'll check those out as well. Again, in the near to distant future, because I'm a little broke right now. So with that being said, hope you guys enjoyed this review. Until next time, I'll catch you guys later.